Ranger panel with the Power Rangers. We have David Fielding playing Zordon. Tracy Lynn Cruz, Ashley, and the Yellow Power Ranger from Power Rangers in Space. We have Austin St. John, Jason Scott, and the Power Rangers and Blue Rangers. My very first crush, right there, Shoeless. And we have Jason coming up, the Silver Power Ranger. Yeah! All right, does everyone have their microphone?
Mr. Justin Nemo.
Justin Nemo. There's a room for everybody? Check, check. That is the Jake the Snake side. That's the side that he melted on in the WWE panel. Oh, thank you very much. I should turn down the music. You did a good job. All right, so why don't we start over here with Zordon, and he can introduce himself, and then we'll work our way down the panel.
My name is David Fielding. I play Zordon, the leader of the Mighty Morphin Power.
Hey everyone, I'm Tracy Lynn Cruz. I play Ashley, Power Rangers Turbo and Power Rangers in Space.
My name is Amy Jo Johnson. I'm undergoing hormone treatments. And I play Kimberly, the big Power Ranger.
I guess I'm going to talk to both mics. My name's Brad Pitt. How you doing? I'm Justin Nemo, Power Rangers in Space with Tracy back in 1998. So it's been 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You weren't even born then, but it's been a long time. Oh wait, it's been longer for you. But I am older than this guy. And a little better looking. Not really. You're better looking. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, so to kick off this panel, why don't we also start with how you guys got the role and how you felt like that has changed your life a little bit?
I had just moved out to Los Angeles. I'd only been there for about 2.5 months. I got a phone call from an old college friend that was working production for Saban Entertainment. She called me up, asked me if I wanted to come down to audition for a pilot for a kids television show that they were doing. I said yes, of course. That's why I moved to Los Angeles. I went down there thinking there would be 1,500 other guys. I would read lines, go home, and never hear anything. Got down there that night, found out it was just 2 guys. They were going to cast it that night and shoot it the next week. And I was lucky enough to be the one that they chose.
I was going to school at college, Long Beach University, studying performing arts and dance and Power Rangers, and went to a casting call, and saw many girls that looked just like me, and was lucky enough to be on the show, and the rest is history.
I went on a $20 bet. I wasn't an actor. I was actually in high school. And the bet was, I'll bet you $20 you won't be wasting your time if you go for the audition. And I lost $20. So here I am. 5 auditions later, I'm sitting next to these beautiful people.
Thank you.
Justin, all he needed to do was smile.
I actually had more to that. I mean, I came from Oklahoma, still live in Oklahoma. I drove down here, ended up in California to become an actor. The agency got the breakdown for an audition, said go to it. I said sure. A couple of callbacks, made it up into the Leo penthouse of the skyscraper, and he's asked me a question, will you do blonde hair? Sure. So then I become the Silver Power Ranger with blonde hair. So if everybody asks, your hair's not blonde anymore, that's because it grew out. It took 20 years, but it grew out. So here I am, the silver is showing.
At least they didn't make you like dye it silver so that you could be the Silver Power Ranger. You know, blonde was probably a better look than silver gray, I guess, for sure. Yeah.
It was actually blonde with silver tips. Yeah.
So how did the long hours that you guys spent on set affect you? I was going to start with you for sure.
You had longer hours than I did. When we first started off, or in space, It was not SAG, it switched over to SAG, so we worked a little longer hours in the beginning, and then when it became Screen Actors Guild, they treated us like princesses and gave us longer breaks in between takes and not as long as working. So it didn't hurt me too much, I just worked like a normal actor.
We had 12 to 16-hour film sessions. Sometimes 5-hour turnarounds. We worked 6 days a week. We did 60 episodes the first year. That's unheard of. I've never even met another actor that's done 60 episodes of anything in 1 year. And if they, well, it's because they don't want to pay actors what they're supposed to pay them. And they didn't pay us that, so we worked a lot. We worked a whole lot. And I think things got better for some guys later, and I'm happy to hear that. I really am.
So I was a part of what Austin was saying. I was non-union, so I got a piece of what he experienced, fraction, probably, all of that. And yeah, there's a big difference from being non-union to union. We worked as non-union, had to do all of our own stuff, and it was not called our turnarounds. We would work for 15 hours a day, shooting 3 to 4 episodes a week, and then once we went into union, they were like our God, came and rescued us. And after that, it was a whole different story. It was a whole different story. So, needless to say, it was a good ending to the story. And then I think they ended up going back to non-union. Yeah. So that's my experience.
My experience is probably the easiest of everybody. They only filmed my character one time, and then recycled that footage over and over and never had to pay me for it, so I would just go in and do voices after that. So I would only work like once every 5 to 6 weeks to do voices for 5 or 6 episodes at a time. And then I would go home and not hear anything for another 5 or 6 weeks. But that was all non-union, so I made less than $1,000 on the show, so it was pretty awesome.
I always like the boss to get the most recognition and do none of the work, right? He's working once every couple weeks. We're in there slaving every day. He's just making us work, boss. What's up with that?
I had no body.
So traveling to these conventions, you get to meet a lot of fans, of course, love you. You know, what's it like getting to, come out and be a role model, because you guys are, for a lot of people, they look up to you.
It's actually very humbling to be able to come to these things, to be able to travel across the country, sometimes to other countries, to meet people that were positively affected by the stuff that we did. I'm very proud of the fact that the show has such a positive effect on people, that it encourages them to be the best that they can be. And I think that reflects very well on everybody that's associated with the show. I don't know what it is about the casting of the show, but every one of the people that I've met that is associated with the show is really a superhero in their own right. And I think that is what we give back to the fans, and what we really like is interfacing with you guys face to face.
I don't know how to say it better than he did, but yeah, interacting with the fans, at least I never thought it was going to get to where it's at now, and being able to come out and meet all the ones that supported us from the very beginning, and seeing the different generations. You see the parents, and you see the parents bringing along the kids, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see the next generation still involved and still supporting. So there's no better way than to come out and say thank you, and see you guys face to face, and hear your testimonies, and hear your stories about what we've done in your life, and how it's changed or improved. So there's no better way. Thank you.
I think that sums it up. I mean, honestly.
I'll add a little bit. It was fun entertaining back then, and it's kind of like still entertaining today. We get to entertain you guys a little bit more because you had the faith in us back then, that you watched us, enjoyed us. But when you come to us with tears in your eyes and better lives than what you had before the show, that's what brings us back again and again. Hearing stories from my dog's named after you to my son's named after you. It's like, I would never expect it. I mean, I didn't know 20 years ago that I was going to be here today, or I wouldn't try harder back then, I guess. Just thank you for letting me entertain you again.
So the Power Rangers are superheroes. You guys have a lot of physicality that goes into the role of Power Rangers, and I know that part of it is shot elsewhere. But what kind of training and sort of what were the workouts like when y'all were on the show?
What were the workouts like? Did you have to be flooding them?
Well, you really couldn't see it happening, but Zordon was master of 12 different martial arts. There was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that never really came out. A lot of that ended up on the cutting room floor.
Wish I could see that.
I just got all my hair shaved off and painted green. That's right.
The training that I had before, again, I was in college studying performing arts and dance. So I came in with a dance background, and when I got the show, when I got the job, they trained me in the beauty of martial arts. I couldn't save myself if I wanted to, but I could make it look very pretty. And they helped me. So, I mean, we had help. They taught us lots and lots of stuff, but yeah, I don't think it could save my life if I wanted to. So that was me.
I actually was in high school on the football team. I was teaching martial arts at the time. I've been in the arts since I was 5 years old. So, I mean, my very first audition, they didn't hand me a monologue or dialogue and say, show us your acting skills. My first audition was, there was lines of us up there, and I'm like, raise your hand if you know martial arts. So I raised my hand. They were like, those of you who didn't raise your hand, there's the door. That was first cut. And after that, then they put us to the test. They're like, show us what you got. So I ended up working with a lot of guys and teaching them. Once we landed the role, I worked with some of the other actors. The first stunt crew worked with the other actors, but I was playing football. I've been doing martial arts my whole life. I was trained by the time I got there. I certainly learned more. We had actors from all kinds of, we had stunt guys and actors, and all combined, I don't know how many different martial arts there were on set between us all. So you would have had to have been a real prick not to kind of open up your eyes and learn something from all of the talent that was on set.
At least 12, because he's got 12, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, at least 12 others after Zordon. So there was a lot of knowledge sharing. It was pretty incredible.
I had very minimal. Wasn't asked to do any kind of backflip or fly through the air or anything in an audition. They asked me if I had any background training. I said yes, which was just a few months right before I even auditioned for the part. Bojuka, boxing, judo, and karate. But I guess I had jiu-jitsu because I wrestled in high school. So I guess most of my training was my stuntman or my counterpart that wasn't really me in the suit that you didn't think was the other person. You thought it was me. So I didn't have a whole lot. I don't have any colors of belts other than the belts that I wear every day. My martial arts is not that great, but I guess I could either call on one of these two guys if I needed protection. They've got a lot more knowledge than I do.
If anyone has any questions they'd like to ask the Power Rangers, raise your hand. I'll make eye contact with you, and then I will dog over to you with the microphone.
Give her a hand for running in heels.
Yes, I have a question for Jason. So, what do you say about the people that talk about your rivalry with Jason and Frank with Tommy?
What do I say to them?
Like, what do you say about your rivalry and the rivalry between you two, whatever?
I say go and watch his videos. He talks about it.
That's fair. That's fair. You have a question?
Question for Jason. What was it like coming back in the Forever Red episode and seeing how far the Red Ranger legacy has continued on?
I've been gone for a while, so when they called me up, I was actually in the fire department of the DC area. And I was living another life. I was going to college, I was bartending at night, working my way through life, paying my bills like you guys do. And I get this email followed by a phone call, and they're like, yeah, we'd love for you to come out and do an episode with all the other Red Rangers. And I was like, all the other? I knew that Rocky had come in. I knew that Jason Frank had been one. I was like, okay, what, 3, maybe 4 by now? They're like, no. I said, well, how many have there been? 11. I said, what, have you been killing off Red Rangers? What are you doing? So it was a bit of an eye-opener for me. And then I got on set and I met a couple of them, and their first responses to me were, I grew up watching you. I thought, damn, I'm old. So that was kind of my experience, but it was great meeting everybody. Everybody was awesome. They had their own, I learned a lot about different series, and got to see what these guys brought to their own Red Ranger creations. And I thought it was pretty cool.
So this is for Austin and David especially, but going into Power Rangers as actors, was it, especially for Mighty Morphin, when it wasn't established as much as Space and Turbo, does it have a much bigger effect than you thought it would have when you went into it?
Yeah, I mean, when I was contacted about the show, it was a pilot and hadn't been picked up yet. And if you live in Los Angeles and you go to auditions, there's what they call pilot season, where these things are created. Lots of them are, they shoot one episode and then it never goes anywhere. So when I went home after filming, they said, we'll contact you if the show gets picked up. And I thought, I may never hear anything, you know. And then 3 weeks later, got the phone call, saying congratulations, the show got picked up. And I was great. When do I report to set? And they said, oh, well, we're not going to film with it. So, I mean, it was a little bittersweet, but I didn't have any idea that the show would do anything better than 1 or 2 seasons. And then, then to learn in 2009 it was still going, I was just flabbergasted.
Now we're at the 25th anniversary. It's still going.
Yeah, I don't think any of us expected it to be where it is today. I mean, I'm taken back every time I get to look one of you guys in the eyes and, as Justin was saying, hear your stories. So I couldn't be more pleased. We get to travel the world. We have the ultimate job satisfaction. We get to travel the world and hear how much you guys loved the work of ourselves or our castmates. And that job doesn't suck, man. So thank you.
So this is for all 4 of y'all. This is for all 4 of y'all. What was your possible favorite memory or even favorite episode of the show for y'all? Like your favorite memory of filming, your favorite memory just being there. It's for all 4 of them.
I'll keep it short and simple since all 4 are going to answer. A scene with one of the other castmates known as the villain Astronema. I got a little special date.
You know what? I got something. I got beef. You were asking about beef, here's my beef.
Wait.
Jason never got a girlfriend, damn it. What the hell?
It's not like people didn't want the role. I'm just saying.
Show with 4 other amazing characters, and I never got a girlfriend. Where's my appreciation? I'm just saying. Somebody, anybody, not even a box of chocolates.
I'll get you a box of chocolate.
I think you get it now.
All right, so my very vivid favorite episode is in space, and because Power Rangers are so sweet, they're just so nice and goody two-shoe until finally my character went evil, and I got to switch with Astronema, and that was the best. I've not played that bubblegum, cutesy ranger. It was amazing, and those episodes are very far and few between, so that's my favorite.
Well, just to address Jason, I think that was a mandate from Zordon that Jason couldn't date. My favorite memory was going into to do ADR, the sound recording, the voice replacement stuff that we did for the episodes that were shot, and to see the new ridiculous villain that I was going to have to talk to them about for every week, whether it was a giant purse monster or whatever it was, Pinosaurus or whatever. But I do remember one episode where Alpha just lost it and started, the command center was blowing up and sparks were lying, I was just like, idiots. I'm surrounded by idiots. I got left on the cutting room floor.
All right.
Austin, did you have a girlfriend Zio at the end?
No, they teased me with that. Like, they brought her in. I was only there for 17 episodes as a Goldman.
Okay.
They brought her in. She got to bat her eyes at me. I got to clearly be like,
Hey.
"Oh man," and then nothing happened. It was very frustrating.
My question is for Ashley, Tracy.
Hi, friend.
Hi. Do you still know how to dance? And if you do, who would you dance with, or who would you teach how to dance?
I do. In my mind, I still know how to dance. In my mind, but actually, I do help out. I teach.
Good
cheerleading.
question.
I do that for junior high, and it's something that I kind of morphed into from dance to cheer. Who would I want to? You know, that's a difficult question. It depends if you're asking day or night.
With drinks or without drinks.
You know, no, I guess maybe Jennifer Lopez. That would be one that I'd love to get down to.
I would too.
Yeah, I third that.
Dave, you in? 4. All right, yeah. J-Lo's down. You guys track her down. Let us know.
Call me.
I'll help her with the twerking.
Alright, my question is for all of you. I asked Austin earlier, but have any of you been addressed about maybe a reunion or a possible cameo in a future episode of any current Power Ranger films or episodes?
Yes, I've been contacted twice and I haven't appeared yet.
I missed that phone call. They must have.
I've had a couple calls. I was busy. Well, I mean, I came back a couple times. One time I was at war, and the other times I told them no.
Why did you say no? I want the juice.
The pay sucks. It's that simple. So at one point they wanted me to leave a career in the Middle East at war to come back and make $1,000 in New Zealand. I would have had to break my contract overseas, lost my security clearance, ruined my professional reputation to come back for 1 week in New Zealand to make $1,000. So you guys are stoned.
Wow.
This is for Zordon. This is for Zordon. My question is, after the final episode of In Space, you as the actor, was it emotional for you? Was it like did you realize how powerful your character was? How was it?
This is going to disappoint you very greatly. I had left Los Angeles before the end of the first season had begun. So I voiced the character for the first 31 episodes, even though they continued to use my face throughout the life of the character. So by the time that In Space was filming, I wasn't even aware that the show was still going on. I was on the East Coast working in computer games, doing voices and stuff for computer games. And it wasn't until like around 2009 when I started to get approached to make a Zordon fan page on Facebook and to maybe start doing conventions and stuff, that I had to go back and find out, well, what happened with the show, what was going on with it, and then to watch the episodes of Countdown to Destruction and see what happened with the character. I thought they handled the demise of the character very well. It was an honorable end to the character and the way he went out and how everything was finalized. I thought they did a really good job with that, but unfortunately I wasn't there at the time.
Okay, so my question is, you guys know that the Power Rangers was made from the Super Sentai footage, so okay, so you guys know that Power Rangers was made from Super Sentai. So if you could see one Super Sentai into a Power Rangers, which season would you like to see?
Are you talking about they integrate and are all in one episode, or what do you? I missed that.
One Super Sentai series season, and which Super Sentai season would you want to see, made into a Power Rangers season?
I didn't watch the Super Sentai. I seen a clip of my character ride on a motorcycle and turn. That's all I ever saw of it. So I wouldn't be fair to answer that question.
Mine was made, so I don't know.
No, I would like to see any of them that have the roar and the amazing fight scene. No, the gore, the fight scenes. They're so much more intense. So I don't have a specific Sentai, but bringing all of that is amazing. I think it would make it more. But unfortunately, because the United States, we're not allowed to bring it to the way that it is in Japan. But I've always been amazed by the way that they puppet.
Yeah, I like that the Japanese had a darker spin on everything. You know, it just, you can only do Fruity Pebbles so many times, you know. It's, so, yeah, I think I'm gonna do
For Austin, first I want to say I grew up watching the very first season. Thank you for such a great childhood for me. I also want to know, what was it like when you actually filmed the movie with Lord Ooze? When you guys filmed the first movie with Lord Ooze, that one, the very first movie.
I left the show before the first movie, so I couldn't tell you. That was, Cardenas did the movie with Ivan Ooze.
They had contacted me when they were going to film it in Los Angeles, but because they wanted to save money, they filmed down in Australia, so they hired a new actor. Nicholas Bell is the gentleman that lays in the crystal bed. That's not me. That's why the Zordon in the first Power Rangers movie looks completely different than he does on television. So neither of us were involved.
Okay, so my brother, my brother's on the phone with me right now. He's asking, looking back at how the show had a positive effect on everyone, did the show have a similar effect on you guys?
Oh yeah, look where I am now. I wouldn't have been here today if it wasn't because of that, so very lucky to be here.
Because we were looked at such a positive role model and the things that we did with Make-A-Wish Foundation, things like that, yeah, you want to live up to that. You know, people looking at you, you want to live up to that. For me, I think it was, it made me a better person, wanting to be that role model that people saw me to be. So, yeah, I would say it helped me and molded me into who I am, or who I would like to be.
I mean, because I wasn't on set with everybody all the time, but got to see the work that they were doing during the ADR sessions, it allowed me to sort of like try to rise to the challenge and be as present as I could in the moment, so to give weight to the character that everybody remembers, the mentor quality that Zordon has. I tried to instill that as much as I could into the lines and into every episode. So, and I think that carries over into stuff that we do in your real life, or at least it did that for me.
I think it's a good part of the reason, other than my parents, why I joined the fire department, why I became a medic, why I spent 4 years in the Middle East, why I was at the Pentagon on 9/11. I think, you know, at 17, 18 on the TV series, and leaving when all you guys were knee-high to your moms and dads, and seeing that look that I would have given if I'd met Superman at age 5, you know, just that jaw-dropping, eye-open, you know, this is an incredible thing to meet this person, and not being able to separate reality from fantasy. I think that left me feeling like I had a lot to live up to. My dad was a Marine, my mom was a cop. So I think I tried then, and I still try in a lot of ways to not let you guys down. So as best I can. That's why I don't go online with public beefs and play those games. That's not who I am, and that's not what Jason was.
So I don't have a question, but I just want to say.
But you look beautiful.
Well, thank you. I'm supposed to be far from Queen Girl. But Tracy, you're absolutely gorgeous. Just want to say that. And Justin, I didn't watch your season, so I don't. But I'm sure you're great.
I wasn't on there. There's nothing.
But the Red Ranger. Oh my gosh, I'm totally spaced right now. I'm sorry. Zordon and Jason. I love y'all. Y'all were amazing. You were my role models growing up. All the Rangers were. So I'm sure the other two were fantastic. But I just want to say that I love y'all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
My question is for all of y'all. I was wondering if any of y'all have children, do any of y'all, does any of y'all's children look up to y'all like we did as Power Rangers?
I have 2 cats, and they look up to me all the time.
I have 4 children, and it wasn't until recently that they actually thought, wow, my mom might be cool. Might is the key word. I might be able to benefit something from this. But for the longest time, it was just normal, hey mom, can you do this for me? Hey mom, help me with my homework. You know, when I go back home, you're hit with reality. It is what it is.
I've got 2 boys, 16 and 18. Whenever they were barely walking and stuff, you know, we might do a little marathon or watch Power Rangers. It's wore off. I mean, if you hung out with me every day for 16 years, eventually the cool is not going to be there anymore. So if their friends come up to them and say something about Power Rangers, usually they'll chime in if they call me the White Ranger, because I wasn't white, I was silver. But for the most part, you know, it's just like, yep, that's my dad. It wore off. Now I'm lucky to get, hi Dad, how you doing? They're a little old, that just happened. So I still love them to death, and hope the best for them. If they wanted to go on for Power Rangers, it's cool. If they don't, I'm not going to push them to do what they want to do.
I have 3. Mine are 8, 5, and 3 years old. So I'm still cool at this particular time. I guess I'm the lucky one so far. Although my daughter, when she becomes a teenager, is going to hate me then. Because she's going to be allowed to be a nun or a lesbian. No boys. No boys will be allowed. Whichever she wants other than that is fine.
Alright, so this one's for Austin. So you've already seen David and Walter and Johnny over at Belton. I wanted to ask you, or not Belton, sorry, Austin. And I wanted to ask you, I know you were on there for a limited time, because you know they had done the recast on it. Who was your favorite person to work with on the original Mighty Morphin? Like Jason or Amy Jo, or who was your favorite person?
The chocolate chip cookies were good. Walter Jones and I he's the only cast member I remained in constant contact with for 25 years after the show. In fact, he's the reason I even found out about Comicons. He called me on the Iraqi-Kuwaiti border and told me about all this. So probably Walter, but my favorite Ranger would have been Tweed, the Yellow Ranger.
This one's for Austin. How do you feel being considered the best Red Ranger?